Welcome to session 3 of our actual play, Terra Sentia series. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming. You all are amazing, and I'm excited to get back into the swing of things.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to give anyone the opportunity to recap last session. Would you like to? Anyone?
Oh, in character or like in
No.
person?
You could do it in character, but also in person.
I'll do it in character.
Please, no.
No, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second.
So first, and it's just
Instant
all out of
regrets.
order.
Yeah.
And then you tell us what's gonna happen this session.
He's like, son of a bitch.
We were camping, and
Spoilers.
Keth made really good food with mushrooms that you had foraged. And Ferg was like, oh, this is what real food is. And really enjoyed it. And then we all tried to go to sleep.
So good.
Mushroom shirts.
Sorry.
And
It's a great
then
little shirt, isn't it?
you got grappled from behind by a weird mushroomy dude with...
No, I didn't. Farron did.
Oh, okay. Farron got grappled. I knew somebody
Farron
got
grappled.
grappled.
I just
Okay.
fucked
Yeah,
it up
there's, like-
after that.
Yeah.
Pussy juices all over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pussy juices.
And then
drink.
one was on top of Ferg. Ferg woke up, smacked it in the face with the iron tome.
The beard soaks it up.
And then time went out of time somewhere, but we didn't.
Did I?
We didn't know. We didn't notice yet.
I don't know if
This is
even
normal
she
for me.
noticed. Did she notice? I guess
I think time noticed. We haven't noticed yet.
There's
And
the
then
thing.
you both woke up. You smacked that one. You magic missiled,
You
and
obliterated one.
you exploded the one that was on me all over me. So I'm covered in goop.
Pus.
You can
It's
be
been
mad,
established.
No.
We're missing though. Before, as we were leaving, Rosex, and we were on one of like the floaty intersection pieces, right? We fought.
Oh, yeah.
We fought the Scallies.
I was just doing like
who was coming
first,
for your
like,
book
yeah,
that
Mason.
you may or may not have.
Samson, not Mason. Samson.
Samson,
Yeah.
who escaped by going Featherfall.
Yeah.
Which is a dope accent. I want to be really clear.
Yeah, I was gonna fuck his shit up.
Somebody
escaped
with Featherfall?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
jumped
at the
off
very
and he
beginning,
just
when
jumped
we were
off.
on the moving
Oh,
platform.
I mean, I did break his jaw though, so that's fair.
It was Solomon.
Solomon.
That's right. Okay.
Solomon.
Samson.
I knew it was
Bible.
something.
There's
I
both
hope you
Bible
call him
things.
something different every time we see him.
I probably will. I'll be like, what are you talking about? Book's fine. And then we also saw the creepy dude in the field that somebody... Farron was like, no, it's okay, just leave him alone.
I feel like the insertion of creepy may be a little. You just
Well,
saw a distant.
that's
We,
biased.
we saw a
a
distant
person in the distance.
I pretty much presume everything is foreshadowing in the game.
I
though.
was creeped out for sure, but that's
What?
In the forest of Kashar, everything is
You
foreshadowing.
hear banjos echoing over the wind.
are banjos inherently
As-
creepy.
Ever since Deliverance came out, yeah.
No.
Like, as Connor, like, walking by somebody that's just
What
staring
about
at you, I
Kermit
would
the
find
Frog,
to be
though,
really creepy.
and the Rainbow
So
Connection?
Exactly.
I just
That's
assume
what I
that
think
it's
of when I
creepy.
think of a
Same
banjo.
time.
Well, I envy that.
Next time we
because-
run into Kermit in the Ford Kashar.
Yeah.
Canon, it's happening.
It's like, is it gonna sing us "It Isn't Easy Being Green" then?
No, it's Rainbow Connection.
Oh, Rainbow Connection.
Kermit's like, you got a pretty frog skin,
It's a
boy.
hard song to play, by the way. It's very jazzy, cool, weird chord structures.
Gotta get
But
no.
All right. So that was, and I think where we really last left off were, you had two of those very weird humanoid creatures that have like an overgrowth of some kind of some growth, like fungi
Fungus
growth
on
over
their
their
face.
eyes. And they
Or
attacked you. I think
clicking
you
in there.
realized inside of that attack that they actually can't physiologically see, which is a little disconcerting.
Are they clicking? Do they click?
You do recall some kind of a.
God damn it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
muffled underneath all their growths.
Most of their growths are actually kind of like
Their eyes,
over their eyes, and sometimes somewhat over their noses, and then like randomly around their skin.
Okay.
And so you had like right before we lost that camera the last
Yep.
session, you had rolled a knowledge history.
Yep.
And that knowledge history was trying to somehow identify something about these
22 or
creatures.
something?
24?
What's that?
24, I think.
Yeah, it was-
22 or 24.
It was
or something
crazy
like
high for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
level.
I have a picture of it. I can tell you.
In the meantime, while you're recalling this, Sparky, I want you to imagine that.
that. Yeah, plus 6.
So Sparky's can't actually put their arm down to their side because your dagger keeps like shocking you. It's like that really, really, really intense door handle shock that like doesn't necessarily like it's not actually like electrocuting you or anything like that, but it is so fucking uncomfortable.
Like pins and needles where you can't really use the muscle. Like you don't really have.
No, it's just like
Like static.
ow, ow,
Okay.
ow, ow. You know, like that kind of thing. It doesn't cause any damage. It's just really, really annoying.
Does your character swear?
And
or are you saying like, foo's a whistle? I don't know, something.
Maybe like.
I feel like Sparky doesn't swear. I feel like Sparky was just like, ow, what is
How
that?
do you feel like?
But unlike a door
Dingleberries.
handle, it keeps coming back. It's like it just keeps happening.
So it's not a constant thing. It just keeps happening.
It keeps happening. At the moment you put your hand near it, it just,
It's not. I don't have it.
in your sheath. You do.
Yeah,
You
it's
shove
on
it.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's on your belt.
Okay.
So your history check.
Was the 22.
So the creatures are categorically unrecognizable. But what is recognizable is that this very well could be a form of an ancient term that people don't necessarily see a lot of nowadays. That folks back in the day, especially like long-lived folks like dwarves and elves, they call this mycelial madness. And that this is somewhat of a advanced stage mycelial madness. Someone who perhaps might have been taken hold by this madness and then somehow just kept living.
They ate some bad mushrooms.
Yeah. So.
I did that once.
Once.
Yeah.
Right now it is, if I recall, you all got attacked in the middle of the night, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're all just sort of like settling down. The sort of high decibel loudness of the night kind of overtakes you once again now that these creatures aren't making noise. And
Sorry, the high decibel loudness. There's a lot of sounds.
yeah, it's I guess what I'm trying to say is that it got really, really quiet after you felled the creatures, but then, like, given 2 minutes, the loudness of the evening comes back and
And,
like
like,
the
crickets.
night, like
takes the
crickets
place.
and creatures.
Exactly,
I'm like, okay.
exactly.
Howler monkeys.
NBD.
So, Farron,
Choose your own adventure in the Kashar Forest.
you know, distantly, you can hear an odd sound that reminds you of some kind of animal making noise, but it's so distant that the only reason why you notice it is because you've been out here so many times, not just in this place, but just in the wilderness in general, and you notice that there is an odd sound in the distance that doesn't necessarily match up with your average everyday night spent in the wilderness in this area. So, and time, you're having a little bit of trouble focusing right now because you keep flashing back to seeing that Zeppelin.
You guys see time kind of like trying to look for kindling for the fire to kind of get it back up, but she keeps like reaching down for a piece of kindling that's not there, and then kind of looking weird, and then touching that knot in her hair that she's been working on.
Ferg is having none of this business and just goes and gets some kindling and firewood again.
Can you do a quick recap of the vision that you had?
I mean, in character, like if anybody asked her, she'd be like,
Just
I was in a field. I'll do it the best I can. Please correct me if I remember, because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was in a field and I was looking at an airship that had the symbol of that one city that I can't remember the name of currently. Fallenstein on it. I don't remember when that was. Yeah.
So Farron stops you from stoking any kind of fire and sort of makes aims to put out the fire and is like, you guys, like, we need to get under cover somewhere. Like, there's something happening out here.
I'm definitely not sleeping
There's
after
no
that.
fire tonight.
I think Ferg would be aware enough not to be stoking the fire, but like still gathering enough to bring with us, possibly.
So how does Farron go about getting everyone under cover?
So I would just like immediately kind of usher everybody to like a grove of trees, like the closest cover we can find.
Okay.
Where we can regroup.
Well, you can definitely regroup within the trees. Were you looking to find some kind of a place to resume your rest, somewhere like in comparison to like an open field, like relatively safe?
Yeah. Is there anything that looks like inherently like covered or like is there any?
Go ahead and make a survival check, please.
If I help them, can you do it at advantage?
15.
Have them look.
Plus, I think.
Yes. So.
Yeah, it's 10 plus 5.
That's
So-
probably good enough.
And how do you offer said assistance?
I would just kind of like follow him and take his lead, kind of like help scout out the area around us.
Okay. So go ahead and roll at advantage, meaning roll again if you get a little bit higher.
Nope.
Okay. So 15 it is.
Yeah.
And you do find a little bit of cover. You find actually this this work shed that was somewhat abandoned, and you can kind of tell that like some boards have been removed, maybe from like local hikers here and there, but for the most part, you can kind of set up camp in here. The shed is just like the floor is just dirt. So you're pretty confident that you can remain silent. It's not going to be like, there's no going to be any sort of like creaking boards or anything like that. That's going to sort of pinpoint your location to any sort of animals or someone looking for you or whatever. You feel like this is a safe bet, especially since it's actually like way farther off into the tree line, past the tree line than you were looking for originally. You just spotted out of the corner of your like dark vision, sort of 60 foot,
Cool.
And that's where you feel like it would be a good place to park.
Great. Let's leave everybody there.
Okay. So, does anyone want to say anything else to their companions? Otherwise, I'm going to say that you continue with your rest.
I'm actually not gonna sleep. I'll stay up and keep watch.
It's fine.
Okay.
Post
shit.
them outside the door.
When you're outside of the
Okay.
city, shit happens.
I
We'll find
would
a
like
river and
I don't need to regain any hit points or anything like that.
You'll
and I
learn
feel
real
like that's what my
quick,
character would do.
Okay, I would like you to roll a perception check for me then.
You've
Oh, yes,
upgraded
Bill.
from the mason jar allotment.
That's not gonna be great.
You've
I'm not gonna
upgraded
lie
from
to
the
y'all.
mason jar allotment.
Yeah, yes. That is a 6.
Okay.
I'm keeping watch outside by myself, but I roll a 6 perception check.
Well, all you need to know is that it's a quiet evening.
Mhm.
I might say that there were a couple of noises that kind of had you on edge. Maybe because you just didn't know what they were. But it ended up being nothing. Nothing comes at you in the evening. Everything's free, clear. And as you, and you do kind of find yourself sort of like kind of nodding off when the sun's coming up.
Do you notice that June was outside with you for the night, like hunting little bits and kind of like, but mostly sitting next to you and kind of like also like patrolling around the house?
And when you're walking out the door, Ferg is just like, go to sleep, kid, and like curls up in a corner and just like You don't know how they do this, but they're just like dead asleep already.
And so you get up, you gather your things, and now what I need, because
Time makes a knot in her rope.
um,
It's a new day.
what I'm also assuming too is that you guys continue on with your search for the Strassman Collective.
Yeah.
And so for that, I'm gonna need a couple of checks, and it doesn't necessarily have to be from one person. It can be from several people. So what I need is a survival check from somebody. I need a history check from somebody, and then I need a nature check from somebody. And this is all kind of indicating like how close you're getting to the collective.
Was that a full long
I'm only
rest?
good at survival.
Was that a
Have
full-on
those
rest?
things.
Yes, that was a long rest.
Cool.
So,
I'm not proficient in them, but I'm okay at history and nature.
I am proficient in both history and nature.
I'm only. I've got survival.
okay, roll me that.
Go for it.
10.
Oh, that's
We
bad.
should probably roll a nature check. I'm assuming yours is gonna be.
History is an 11
Mhm.
Actually, what is your proficiency? Like, I mean, what is your with proficiency? What's your total?
plus 4.
The same. I'm gonna aid you talking about stuff, like in terms of like the. So this is your nature roll. I want to see how you describe it.
Yeah, that was history.
Okay. So talking about like what I'm noticing in terms of the flow of the land and like the most likely place for where mushrooms might want to be like growing in this area.
Yeah.
I'm giving you some like knowledge elements to like the nature.
Because I have book knowledge and I've sort of barely read about the Strassman Collective, but yeah.
I think I've seen where it is.
16 for.
Well, didn't you already roll that once?
But
that
that's
was
for
history.
Ah, got it.
So nature with us talking would be a 16.
Okay, well, you find a couple clues that sort of lead you that lead you to believe that you should be looking in the direction closer to the waterfall that's in the area. What they call it, the Sawmill Falls. So that is good news, but you have not found it yet. That's one. Number two, going back and sort of backtracking so you can kind of get back on the trail, you come out to see a peculiar scene, which is a person, a humanoid, probably the size of a human or a half-elf from a distance. And you see this person dragging away the dead bodies of the creatures.
The ones that we killed?
Yes. And he sees you from a distance, and you see him, and he just sort of stands up straight and just drops the bodies and just kind of looks at you all and just does this.
Does this humanoid have any myco madness going on that we can see visibly?
It's too distant to
Too
tell.
far away.
Yeah.
How far away is he?
Well, he's closer now that he's walking towards you.
Oh, good. I start working towards him.
Okay.
Time where you
Hi.
Hello.
bird just waves.
Hi.
Are you from the city?
Yep.
Hey kid.
Well,
Hush.
welcome.
Berg nods. Ben, you want to take this?
Hi. We're just passing through.
Are you now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're that, no, I've seen you before distantly.
Farron, like, and Steph, nice to meet you.
I know that's not creepy at all.
Seen you from
I've
afar.
I heard of you. You're that ranger type from Rosax. They talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
Who's they?
It's me.
Folks that pass through that know who's who and what's what.
I know a lot of folks around here.
Well,
Where do you hail from, sir?
call Kip in these woods. I
That way.
keep
over there.
That's my tree.
I keep distant to a lot of the city whoozy whatsits that go in and around. I don't much care for the noise.
Do you know where these fiends that attacked us came from?
What I do know is I know they gotta be burnt right now. You want to help
What
me out
happens
with
if we
that?
don't burn them?
Sure. Time goes and sends a firebolt at one.
And so he wait, and then you do that, and he just
Ferg just looks up and is like,
And then she looks and sends another
I
one.
guess this place is as good as any.
Sure.
Magic users.
I was like, this is. I started like taking you through
Jeff gives him
almost
a
this like
sympathetic nod.
motherly kind of
It's
like
a-
this is
yeah,
like
no.
showing you my way of like just that you have to like pull the elements and like you grab the fire like and you feel how the air is getting colder, like we're drawing energy from there and casting it too, and just giving you the book lecture on the magic.
Ferg's eyes are rolling.
You're like,
that's
huh?
not how you do it.
I didn't understand a word she just said. What?
What's wrong with these people? Why do they attack us?
You know, I'm not rightly sure.
They had a sickness.
They pop in and around sometimes, and I try to avoid them whenever possible. But I feel like burning their bodies is best, especially with all of the open wounds and such all over them.
Are they
Pustules,
contagious?
I think they call them.
Are they contagious? Some of our friends may
I
have gotten
haven't
some pus
caught
on them.
anything as of yet, and I've handled them for close to a decade.
Where do they come from?
Ferg is just like
Can't rightly
wiping
say.
dust off.
I just know how to deal with them, and I know how to avoid them. It's all me by my lonesome, and I just would rather not have to deal with them in a sort of physical way. It seems as though you took the physical way out with these ones.
Well, they did attack
See.
us to be fair.
No, I don't blame you. I'm just saying that most folks would run rather than wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
The fucker was on top of me. It had to die.
You live all
And
alone.
I would ask you to watch your language.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I mean,
Watch
you're
it come out your mouth.
you all due respect. You're
Farron
in,
just kinda, like,
you're in my house, and
Farron
I
kinda,
would
like, steps in
appreciate a
between.
little, little restraint would be nice.
These guys are with me. We're just passing through. Is there anything else we can do to help you?
Oh, I was gonna ask the same of you. If there's anything I can do, or
Do you know anything about how to get through this part of the land without running into any more of those creatures, or any advice on how to handle ourselves?
I can't promise
Sounds
that.
like you have a lot of experience.
I have a lot of experience avoiding them.
And how do you do that? Let's do that.
Well, for one,
Yeah.
being by myself.
Yep.
And you all don't have that luxury.
Mm-hmm. We've got
You
some.
make a lot of noise. I don't know if you picked up on this, but they see with their noses and their ears.
Mm,
So,
that's
Too bad.
helpful.
Because we're loud and we smell.
because you're loud and you smell.
But we can also use that to our advantage. Does anybody else have a musical instrument on them? If they're seeing with their ears, confuse the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Also, I've got a spice pouch in my bag. Just saying, we can really get creative here.
I mean, we could
So
probably
you're
dig
attracting
up some
them with
wild
really
ginger.
potent spice.
All right. Are there any other
I mean, if they attack us,
advice
just hit 'em in
as
the
far
face.
as avoiding these folks?
They mostly hunt at night. I've only seen them during the day a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And they are relentless, hunter types.
What's
They
they're
they
gonna
they,
eat
they,
us?
they attack to eat.
Probably.
Uh,
But just like any other animal.
they in fact are just like any other animal.
Interesting.
So Ferg just interrupts. Do you know about the Strassman Collective and where like all these city folks that you talk about are going?
The Strassi who?
The falls we were talking about.
It's supposed to be over by Sawmill Falls.
Collective. So a collection of fungi?
Probably.
All right.
Yes.
Well, it is way more of a moist area over there with the waterfall making it all cloudy and whatnot.
Yeah, and these gross things, they hang out over there?
Imagine they would appreciate the relative humidity in the region.
I don't know. I think it would be worth checking out, though.
Well, yeah, that's where we're going, but any info you have would be better than none, because...
Which way is it?
Would you... Well, I'd be happy to show you the way.
Thank you, that would be great. That way? She points oddly enough the direction he's kind of starting to face.
It's that way, and she points in the same direction, like giving you a weird look.
Thank you.
You sure you need me?
Oh, I
Probably
wouldn't have known
not.
until you showed us.
City folk.
Is there any like are there any like sloughey, like mud puddly looking areas around or?
Yeah. A lot of like on the shore of the river that runs through this area.
Okay.
Trying to figure out where that was. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, the Grundle River. Yeah, the
Okay.
So there's a lot of like mud on the banks. It's mostly rock. The banks mostly comprise of rock, but occasionally you'll see a little bit of mud here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next like sloughey, muddy space we pass, I just go full like predator style on it and like put some mud on my face, and then I'm like, I basically am like, come on, everybody else. You heard them. They see with their noses.
Yeah,
Get muddy.
Ferg is like, yeah, we're in the wild. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there.
So
No, thank you.
Do you really think this is necessary, sir?
And then I just like walk up to Time and I'm
He's
just
not
like,
with us anymore?
Ferg is like, no, just pick up a
He's
handful.
coming with us.
well,
Slide it
We're
on your
friends.
face, you'll be
I
fine.
would.
Time makes some motions with her hand, and water kind of comes up and like washes her face off, and she's like, "No, thank you.
you're gonna fucking get us killed. That's right.
I will bathe. We'll be fine."
Kid, it'll be fine.
I would
Just
say more of the bickering is what's gonna alert them to your presence.
Okay.
get dirty and be quiet. We'll be fine.
I don't want to beat around the bush, little one, but you should probably be afraid.
Keth just rolls in the dirt. He's cool with it.
Can you not make the kid more afraid?
Listen, I'm a proponent of reality, and I feel like everyone should know what they're getting into.
There's also this thing anchored in reality called tact, sir.
Tact.
Which you
it
just
is.
got on
Isn't
me
that-
for
Okay,
not
Isn't that
I'm
what-
having.
okay, I'm okay.
What you use to
I'm a big
post
girl.
post-its up on the
Yes. Yes, it is.
tact.
Post.
Not quite following, but I've got a lot to learn from you city folk, let me tell you.
Fucking
I want
done
to shake.
with
I
this
like
shit.
shake his hand before we leave.
Um,
Keth is
look
really
into his
jarred for
eyes
being
and
called
Yeah.
a city folk
You-
so
and
much.
say
He's
like,
been to a city
like
once.
with I don't know
so.
if I need a charisma roll, but like I want to exact
Very
some kind of
distant
like
ritual.
he doesn't want to. I want to
You come from a
kind of
booming
try and make him
metropolis.
That's true.
not
We live with a
want-
society.
not have any ill will towards us with my charisma. Like I want to make sure he doesn't like if he can do something for us in the future, that he will.
Okay.
Tell us how teenager you
so you
is doing
grab
this
his
too.
hand.
I'm really curious.
And his hand is it's like dirty, but like the kind of dirty that like even if he washed his hands, the dirt would still be in the
Caked in,
creases
yeah.
of the lines of his hands.
Mhm.
And he has startlingly bright eyes. Not bright as in like luminescent, but like bright as in like
Intelligent.
blue,
and-
like almost like a light blue.
Okay.
He has a perma crease right here. Like he's just constantly like suspicious of everything.
Scowly as fuck.
Yeah.
So maybe like
Average height for a human,
Okay.
about 5'10"ish.
Okay.
You can tell that he does a lot of repairs to his own footwear. So he's kind of like maybe either a trained cobbler or self-taught cobbler.
Cobbler.
So you know that should pretty much tell you that like this guy avoids going into the city from
Right.
as much as possible. And he carries just like a small little satchel on, no armor, no weapons, nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him. Aren't you lonely out here, sir?
I feel full being by myself.
You gotta judge the introverts.
I'd be scared.
I spent 15 years in the city and I've never felt so empty in my life, so, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I was there for like 15 minutes and
So,
She's also from the city.
From, like, the
So,
burbs, I think.
he begins to lead the way, but he goes side by side with you, and he tells you a few stories of some harrowing experiences with wild animals in this wood. So as we continue
Am I still being shocked by my dagger?
into the wilderness, yes, you absolutely are. But here's what you've noticed is that if you come down and grab your dagger, as it shocks you, you kind of recoil a little bit, but if you
my ground.
can we misspell attractive much?
They're so excited they're probably shaking while trying to text.
So
Whatever, Bill.
if you find
No plus.
I was almost having a good night.
Damn.
listen, with me being the GM, trust me, the night is young.
damn.
We'll find you some good mushrooms.
Thank you.
So Ashley, with
They're for me,
the dagger, hey you guys, thank you. As you touch the dagger, it shocks you, but if you force yourself to just grab the hilt and hold on to it, it stops shocking.
Okay.
Starts to feel real good.
So
Okay.
you know, and there again, there is this sort of like energetic buzz about it
See?
that has not ceased and has not diminished since yesterday.
20 objects.
Do we notice this? Like, have you mentioned this to us at all, or do I notice that?
Actually, I will allow whoever wants to, whoever perhaps might notice it. I mean, you can elect to say, no, I wouldn't notice it, but like, go ahead and make a perception check if it's at all interesting to you.
Maybe I
It
might
is
ask
interesting to me.
why I'm
First,
holding my arm away from
because
myself.
it's kind
Berg
of
would
subtle,
notice.
you know, given that Sparky is a kid and does weird kid things.
Just
I
twitches,
didn't-
twitches
I didn't-
anyway.
also don't want to be like a pain in the ass and ask stupid questions.
I rolled a 17.
What'd you roll?
A 7.
Would
I
you
didn't
roll?
notice.
What'd you roll? If you don't have to roll, by the way.
I feel like Ren would probably
Whatever
notice.
this is. 9.
Okay, so Ferg is actually the only one of y'all that notices that Sparky's just doing like weird things with this whole dagger business. And you've also noticed on a couple of occasions that there's been a visible shock, like stemming from the dagger to her, and Sparky's just, hey, you know, just reacting to it. And then finally, kind of as the day rolls on, Sparky just grabs her dagger and kind of holds on to it. And it's in that moment that I need you to make a reflex save, please.
You're fine.
Me?
Me?
Ferg.
Ooh.
So dexterity.
Yeah. No, I was
Still
but
using
I-
that 3.5 terminology though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks.
I mean,
No.
we all still do.
9.
9. So
Not six.
everyone hears a very, very loud and audible snap. And Ferg, you take 7 points of damage
Oh,
as
shit.
your
All right.
leg is caught in a bear trap. And you're screaming.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
Ferg looks down and
no.
is like, what the fuck is going Sparky, you're dead. What?
And
You've been touching your dagger and it's been shocking you, and now I have my leg in a fucking bear trap. You did something.
That doesn't make
And-
logical sense.
and Hoffer turns around and says, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
Is
What
that
the
your
fuck do you mean
trap?
it's unfortunate?
Is this your trap?
And he says, "No, but they
It
do."
fucking hurts. Somebody get it off me.
But yeah,
I'm gonna go over with my quarterstaff and pry it off his foot.
I can cauterize the wound.
Good. Fix it now, damn it. You said 7 points?
7 points, yeah. And
Do I need to like roll
I
to
think
get the
that-
bear trap off or anything, or did I just get it off?
well, let me just say that it takes a solid 5 minutes of like careful leverage. But yes, you do get it off. There's no gonna be right. You're out in the open. You've got plenty of time. There's really no like consequences for anything if you're going really really careful and you've got all of everybody sort of helping you out. So they get your leg out.
I won't cauterize it then. We equipment.
So and Ferg, you your movement is 10 feet less until certain things happen.
Does anyone have any healing magic?
Ferg is just like, I'll get through this. We've had worse in the fighting pits. This really hurts.
I know how to
Give me
splint
a
you real good.
beer. I don't. It's not broken. It hurts. Dude.
I have a salve.
Yes.
Here's my salve.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wham!
Oh, hold on a second. First of all, before you do this on his leg.
That's how you activate the salve. I didn't put it on his leg yet.
Okay, that's fair.
She slept
but
with the mushrooms.
but-
and
Salve on.
with this kind of wound, you know that this salve will not help him.
Yeah, but placebos do wonders.
He's got a compound fracture.
These are essential oils.
It's
But this
pretty.
is a cup of tea.
It's pretty. Yeah, Bill.
That's all you need.
You know not the power of puer.
Oh, that was awesome pronunciation.
Oh, thank you. I took a tea class, and I'm not kidding.
Rad.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So is that
yes,
no?
I would never, but it's really good for your tummy.
Yeah,
So is that no? Does no one have healing
and for
magics?
ancient Chinese weddings.
Nah, man, I'm a monk.
There are
Somebody help.
portable
This really,
methods.
really fucking hurts.
Listen, I'm doing all that I can.
Will you just give me some drugs so I don't feel it? Because I know that you have the good stuff.
Yeah, no, I think I'd feel that too.
Yeah. You want to help? You have something to
Listen.
help? Come on.
Listen.
I'm gonna hit somebody.
I
Either
have
knock
the
me
drugs,
out-
and then I give them to you.
What drugs?
He just asked for
You're-
the good stuff.
You're on
I have. If I don't have anything to heal, Ferg, I have something to numb the pain or distract.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that.
All right?
Okay.
Ferg is all about like numbing and distracting.
Yes.
Like,
And if Ferg specifically asked for that, I'm gonna give Ferg that because I'm not here to tell
So
Ferg
for
you can't have
the
that.
pain it quickly subsides as Farron applies something sublingual and asks you to kind of hold it there for about 45 seconds, and then you can swallow or do whatever you want.
This
But-
ought to take the edge off.
But the result is that you gain the poisoned condition.
so that's we can fix that at some point.
I would like
Any
to
other
roll
side effects?
a nature check to see if I can find some like willow bark around.
Go for it.
No, thank you.
Will somebody also please just pull my bone back inside my shin?
10.
I will,
Thank you.
if Pill will let me.
You know, you're probably
Oh,
convinced that willow bark exists in the area,
There's none
but
near
you
Grove
just
right
didn't
now.
find any that is actually worth like doing what you need to do with it.
Time mentions to the others, it kind of describes a little of the willow bark. It says like that is a potent painkiller. So if we see any on our way, we should harvest some.
So, Ferg has also asked Farron to just reset the bone. And so Farron's going to give it a shot.
Go ahead and make a medicine check, please.
Okay.
I don't have very good medicine.
If I help hold Ferg down, can we
And
do
I
an
can help.
advantage?
Yeah, help
7.
with strength. Can we help?
Oh, wait, too many people at once. So hold Ferg down, have advantage. What were you gonna say?
Whatever I can do with strength.
Oh, yes.
Help
Can I
him with
re-roll?
strength.
Oh, I just have to
With
re-roll
strength?
another one.
Yeah.
Or hold
Okay.
him still.
Oh, yeah, you're kinda
Not
strong, aren't
necessarily
you?
like pin you
Um,
down, but hold you still.
I get an advantage roll?
Creepily strong.
Sure.
You're creepily strong for right
Oh, that was rolling for so long. 14
Plus what?
plus 0.
Oh, it's your medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's 0.
I have
too.
better medicine than you, by the way.
Is it medicine
Well-
wisdom?
It is.
Oh, mine's plus 1.
Should be your wisdom.
Oh.
So if you're not proficient in it, it's just the ability score.
See?
Oh.
So like your plus.
Oh.
to
17.
Yeah.
That's better.
that.
That is actually made all the difference.
Great.
Yeah. You needed 15.
You're
That's basically
welcome.
what you needed.
Okay, so so I'm gonna describe a little bit of a comical scene. So You begin. You grab Ferg's leg and warn him of the. Like this is gonna hurt. And Ferg's like, well, I'm on painkillers.
We know it's gonna hurt.
It's
Just
gonna, but it's not gonna
do
hurt.
it.
How much can it really hurt? You're pretty numb already, right?
I imagine
I'm
that
pretty sure Ferg is probably having
Farron
Kath,
is kind of.
You got all your body weight down on Ferg, and you think
I'm a lot bigger than
with your
Ferg.
dagger, the hilt is covered in a leather, so you shove your dagger in his mouth so he can bite down. And yes, it does. It kind of that kind of like shocks you, and you're like, fuck.
And I imagine Farron being like, I know you're feeling good right now. This is gonna hurt real bad.
And then
Time
it
is watching
does.
really
Then I
interested.
hug you.
Don't fucking touch me. Just tie it off.
And
Wait,
then
what was
it-
that?
Yeah.
Do it.
And then it does.
Do one of
The
those.
leg
Okay, I'm
gets-
gonna count to 5. 1.
Yeah.
You splint it up. You basically wrap it. Your movement is still 10 feet lower.
Oh yeah,
But-
I'm not walking on that leg.
So Time comes up with like her water bottle and like pours a little bit out like into her hand and does this motion that kind of like smooths a really thin layer of ice over the bandage, and it lasts for an hour. Shea water.
Sweet.
So that help like cold.
Thank you for putting it over the bandage and not under the bandage.
Cooling
so you
the-
don't damage my skin.
It's in your cells.
Cooling the inflammation. Cooling the inflammation. Okay, cool.
There goes Ferg from the knee down.
This should help it heal. You might want to remove it every few minutes and then put it back.
Yeah, no shit. Done this before. And then like just really pretty colors. So can we get somewhere? Cause I want to sit
We're going this way.
down.
I'll break
Oh,
off.
now
Can
you're
I break
so
off
fucked
a
up,
branch
you'll
and
even
give him
accept
a
my help and
Are
helping you walk.
we continuing?
Yeah.
I mean, as
like-
soon as I reset the leg, I was already like back up, like, all right, where are we at? And then I like again, I'm trying to convince you to like cover yourself in some mud.
This
I'm
like.
trying to get in your good graces.
You can clean yourself up.
Ferg's hiding
She
behind
takes
still
you take
telling you to
some
chill
water
out,
and you
just
see her
hush.
kind of like move it around.
Just
and
do
she's
me a
like-
solid
how
here.
frequent do you come across bear traps out here?
She
Just
finds some
willy-nilly.
plants that are very pungent
I mean,
There you
it's
go.
not yours.
and gets those. But
Compromise.
I
Awesome.
don't ever encounter them.
You have the worst luck.
They're so good. Eat as many as you want.
It was bar and just like kind of pets you.
I
It
know
was
of
that
no.
one.
I know of no magical connection that would have created a bear trap.
It's their fucking dagger.
And I find
Promise.
I
So-
find some
The dagger did it to you?
So wait, you notice the dagger? You point out the dagger. I'm like, do you want to?
Wait.
You should sit for a few minutes.
Yeah, no shit.
Loom, may I like inspect your dagger, please, without touching it? I just may I look at it? Cool. And so like,
adorable.
you may want to put it down. I may like need a few minutes, and like Time takes some time to wander around it and does a ritual of detect magic, and wants to like with that and focusing on the energies, like do an arcane check and kind of see perhaps what the fuck is going on.
Oh
with
wow,
dagger.
this is a quite an interesting boon that seems to have a somehow sort of a spiritual connection, like an actual like a connection with Sparky's soul. And you don't know how it happened or how it manifested. You don't remember this dagger being a thing before, or maybe it was always. You never. I don't know.
This is
But the dagger actually holds 10 whole charges that Sparky can use at her whim.
Charges.
and
Yeah,
time
you
to kind of describe.
So I'm sorry.
describe
Charges meaning slots, spell slots.
Damn.
What? The fuck? Dude, that's amazing.
So
If only you knew
time,
how to control them.
time kind of stops and goes, "Oh,
So is it like spell storing?
this
Is that what you
dagger."
Like a battery.
Ish.
mean? Okay. I'm sorry. Just like I was just curious. Like the.
So time goes like, "Oh, so this dagger is you." As part of you resides in this dagger, and you can call upon that to fuel your magics.
I'm not a weapon.
You're
I
not
don't
a
wanna
weapon,
hurt
but
anybody.
part of you is in the
You
weapon.
made a bear trap and it broke my leg.
I did
Unconfirmed.
not.
You did blow up a thing's head last night, though.
I looked at
Okay, but it was
that.
hurting
Can I, like,
I'm shocked.
do
Oh, I
an
agree. I
arcana
don't
check on
disagree
the
with
bear
your
trap or
choices.
something to see
Saying that
if...
there is a
You don't have to,
possibility
it's normal.
to
Okay.
help. Like a dagger is both useful and a weapon. They can be both.
Meanwhile,
You get
has
to choose which you want to be.
slipped time a little bit of drugs. Slipped Ferg a little bit of drugs.
A little
Puts-
bit more.
Puts
drugs.
a little bit of that calming salve in his
yeah.
hands and just walks over to your face and is rubbing your temples and then continues to like scout out in the distance. Like,
While we're talking, time doesn't even break stride. She just takes that and kind of like continues talking as she's consuming.
I know
Ferg
what
is
you
just like
need.
super interested in
And then
their
wanders off.
tattoos and like they're so pretty and
Yeah.
just like
What are you doing?
Me?
You-
I'm just watching
your
you
own
guys making
tattoos.
sure
Yeah.
none of you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
hurt yourself.
yeah, because we're covered in
I got
tattoos.
maybe
like,
Ferg like
I can
kinda
only
gives
imagine
Peppa
you've now
look, like,
named a few.
you know,
Yeah, and
like-
I'm just
Like,
like,
well, they're all
what,
tats.
like, what did we get ourselves
Yeah.
into?
Maybe
oh yeah, that's
actually
right. Yeah.
Ferg
Yeah.
probably consults you on like what like where we should go from here, like because like knowing all of your experience, like
Well,
tracking.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that if we go
Oh right,
up
what's his name?
past that ridge over
Bill.
there
Yeah.
and then turn right
Okay.
so that we're actually following the river but on the other side,
All right.
then at that point we can start making our way to the Sawmill Falls and get you to where you need to.
Oh,
Ferg sort
thank
of
you
half
so
rolls
much.
over and looks.
I'm
and he's
trying.
like,
I'm
"I
real
can't
sorry
fucking
about your
cross
friend's
the
leg.
river. How the fuck am I going?
I'll carry you over a river, buddy. It's good.
And like
I can get us across the river.
the
Make him.
and the guy
Yeah,
who
please.
who you now known
lift
as
him over my
Hoffer,
head.
he just kind of like
I can create a bridge for you.
reaches out to you for a second, and just goes.
Teamwork.
Don't touch me, I'll eat you.
I didn't know if okay.
I will. I know that my leg's broken. I'm really, really high right now, but I will kill you. And he-
You can't rage
And then
I know.
I think for all this, like
Like
Ren is
very-
trying to be really
too relaxed.
friendly with Hoffer, like really like diplomatic, really like thank you for doing us a solid and dealing with my friends. Kind of like this guise of like I'll be back and thank you for dealing with this.
Here's my card.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like if there's anything you need from
One
the city,
favor.
I pass
One
through
favor.
every once in a while. Like it looks like your shoes might need a little help. Do you need some new shoelaces? Like what do you need
Ooh.
on
Rude.
my next return?
I made these myself.
No, I said it. No, I mean
Actually,
but
I,
it looks
I-
great. But like you
I would
probably
actually
want a
like
piece
you-
of something.
I'd actually like you to make a persuasion check, if only to just be like not sound insulting, because he kind of takes pride in his cobbling
Oh.
skills.
I see. Just that. Got it. Oh, they didn't not. Nope.
I did not know.
Can I roll to smooth it over with?
It's too late.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, my skills are just fine, thank you.
Sir, I
They
don't
really-
think
they
she was
clearly
insulting
are.
your
I like
skills
your
in any
shoes.
way.
And he just waves his hand and continues on.
It's fine. You know when to.
Yeah.
You know when to hold them. You know when to fold them. You know when to walk
Wait,
away.
we're playing poker now?
So Keth is gonna go over to Ferg
I'll
and
totally-
kind of like put his
Anyone?
like half carry.
Oh, yeah.
Stop
basically.
noticing. There are things that are canon.
Hand him some fruit jerky if he wants it.
Hand who some fruit jerky.
Ferg. Keth's gonna go over, half carry him to wherever they're trying to go, and give you some fruit jerky to chew on, so you don't complain as much if you want it.
Ferg's just high and is like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, just like
I thought
try
we were-
not to drag
I
your foot on the ground.
Thought we were playing poker.
So about the next half an hour after you cross the river and you're heading on the other side of the river towards the falls, Keth, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. I can do that.
Can't believe I insulted the man's shoes.
13?
Your leg snaps into a shut bear trap,
What?
and you
So it was
take
already shut?
10 points of damage, and you are caught.
So
I
we
am
both
down.
fall down.
No, I'm like down. Like I'm at 0
You
hit
don't have
points.
any.
Like,
well,
kind of
I mean, if you
anything
collapse, I
that can-
collapse.
Yeah.
Why do you? Wait. Why?
Hold
'Cause
on,
he's
stop. We
carrying
need help.
me.
So
I'm
I move
jumping.
up to Keth, and like I point like
Oh, not
You.
again.
Get over here. Put the pressure over here. I need help doing this. And I want to roll a medicine check at
it's
advantage.
together.
Tell
It's
ya,
one I've ever
I don't
spoken.
see this much
Oh,
bear
wait,
trap
no.
activity.
When reduced to 0, I endure to 1 hit point because I have relentless endurance.
Oh, because half orc.
Half orc.
Nice.
Right, okay.
So I'm still up, but I'm really fucking mad and my leg hurts.
Then yeah.
Also, I do not believe you anymore. I asked you and you say you never see bear traps and now 2 of us have walked into them. Like, what are you doing to us right now?
I'll tell you what, city folk are cursed.
Keth is not happy.
He kind of throws his hands up and he's like, I'll help if I need to.
Do you have any daggers on you?
22
I
medicine
have darts.
checks
Do you have any healing
with
potions?
the assistance of the little one to help
I'm gonna hand you a
remove
dart.
and
No,
bandage
Ferg
it
is
on.
gonna like clumsily take it off
Um,
your belt.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Can I throw a dart at disadvantage at what's his butt? Because I don't fucking believe him.
Okay, well, first things first. So you're trying to get the bear trap open. What's your strength?
13.
Okay. And your strength is a 9, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
And,
sort of.
15.
okay, so
If my modifier's -1.
in this
so
case,
nine.
because there's only 2 of you, I would like one of you to make a strength check, not athletics, but strength check at advantage.
I'll go after you because I was mostly focusing on like the bandaging the leg afterwards.
3.
Those are pretty.
Oh, I know, right?
Except their rolls.
Oh, you can keep them. I have a lot
11
of sets.
plus 2?
13.
You do not get the bear trap open. Then all of a sudden,
Can I
hold on a second. So
Can I
then
try to
all of
open
a
the bear
sudden, you just like, I don't know, what do you say when you?
He doesn't
I just-
say anything. He took it off my belt.
No, so I take it off
Cat's
Cat's belt
Uh-huh.
and like stoned out of my gore and like you're fucking doing this. This is your fault. You're the one leading us and like
And
just
he like looks
clumsily-
looks past himself like are you pointing to someone else?
like super clumsily throws his dagger at him like
Dart.
dart.
You're good.
So
feel like I want to jump.
Yeah,
on
go
the
for
way
it.
of-
Disadvantage.
At a disadvantage for
Yeah.
sure.
Like
Oh.
ineffectively maybe.
Season of what?
uh
Name of the book.
Oh, right. The book.
You rolled well.
I thought.
And you have to-
yeah. Dart would be
It's a D4.
Dex. It's your dex. So
it's a dex, so
you're maybe
14.
probably
It's
friction.
Dex or Strength, isn't
I
it?
feel like I want to jump in front of it.
Roll damage. You
I'm
hit
pretty sure it's versatile.
And
I use Dex
D4.
for it. Yeah.
D4. Yeah.
I'm saying I only hit him in like the foot though.
Furry's helping
So you're
us.
doing non. You can't do it with range.
One.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, what's the total?
1.
1 plus your strength bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, one-
It's a thrown weapon.
4.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, darts are like daggers, where
Is
like they've
throw
got a blunt
weapons
end and they got a
always-
sharp end.
Yeah.
Throw
You're
weapons
all
aren't
fucked up,
always
so you didn't think to like
dex
flip it because you were at the distance that you
Throw
were.
it,
So
yeah.
you just sort of threw it at him,
But, like,
and
arrows have to
it
be
basically
dex.
clocked him in the temple. Just and not really a direct hit, but just kind of like stunned him just for a second. And he's like, calm the fuck down, and you realize that he swore, so it must be serious.
Yeah.
Can I try
And
to take this bear trap off?
I was
my
gonna
arm
say,
quick?
can I
At a disadvantage, yeah.
in my high state, can I try and take it off?
Well,
Can I?
I'm gonna allow you to make your disadvantage.
Is it an athletics check?
Nope, just strength. Straight to strength.
I was gonna say
Nope.
Ren is
No.
also like calm the fuck down and very impressed that you're not calm after all the fucking drugs I gave you.
I'm
Barbarian.
really calm, but he's the one that he let us into the trap.
Somebody gets blamed.
He's like, I did not.
Shouldn't have given the red pill.
And he's running away now.
Ferg is having a very much like
No,
correlation.
offer.
Correlation is causation.
Oh,
We're
I
sorry.
insulted the man's shoes. He's
You
not
never
gonna help me
insulted the man's
again.
shoes.
Farron,
Well, he
Yes.
told us what to do. We
Offer,
gotta
I'm
cross
sorry.
the river.
you now hear the distant sounds that are now a little louder that you heard the night
We
the
need to
previous
get undercover
hold on a second,
now.
Hold on a second, the previous night, and
Nervous.
that is that those sounds are dogs.
Okay, great.
Oh, we need to be quiet.
Multiple
Oh.
barking dogs.
Okay,
We need to be quiet.
all right.
And your leg is still stuck in the trap.
You
Yeah.
said we
We need to get in the
No,
river.
I'm saying
We need to
lead
get the
for,
river.
like, we need to be quiet.
We
Like,
need
I'm
We need to
like,
get in the river.
get the trap off of this one first, though.
Can I use my dagger, my shock? Will that help?
Can you help us out? I know you
what
can
do
That,
also
like,
do?
to pry it
I'll
open.
try.
I've seen you do things.
No.
You would be in danger of like cutting off
Okay.
Keth's leg or
Okay.
injuring her.
All right, never mind.
I'm open to other suggestions.
Crowbar. I have a crowbar.
Crowbar would be really good.
Can
Try again.
Here,
since
hand me
we
the
have-
crowbar, and I will
strength.
pry it while you open it with your hands because you're stronger. Like I'm gonna use the crowbar to assist you because you're
Okay.
stronger to help
I
stabilize.
guess we can try that. So you're
I mean,
assisting.
you're just getting
assisting. I'm
advantage.
just getting advantage.
Yeah, I'm giving you advantage.
Yeah.
If that
Uh,
works for senior.
Yeah, and you can have a plus
yeah.
1 to your roll as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
Special crow.
That's
17 plus 2 plus 1. That's 20.
You got the guns.
Mhm.
Gun check.
And you would get another roll, but that's fine. Like
Just
you
like
pry it open
No, no.
just enough for basically you
Like
to
that
like
medicine
to
I
like
was doing
pull
earlier.
the leg out because you can't pull your leg out on your own. It's just it's fucked. It's
Yeah.
way more fucked than
I've got
Frodo's.
staff. It's fine.
And
Now I can help.
now
Both of
you
them.
have two
To the river. To the river.
mangled legs.
Go to the river.
I'm like I'm a good height
We have
for to be like a
bandages first,
crutch for both of them.
two are-
The strength,
keep an eye out, we have the
'cause
bandage
they're
I'm
bandage
big
like,
and
first.
I'm
I'm almost
small.
like 8 feet tall though.
Yeah, no, but I'm good. I'm in a good height. Like my shoulder, you could use.
We
mine.
could be each other's crutches and just lean on
No,
the
I'll be in
same-
between
time
you
would
two.
be better crutch for you.
You're gonna have to go down probably 50 yards.
I have a quarter
This
staff.
area you spotted a couple of hornets nests
Mhm.
in the trees, and so to go into the river like straight to the river
Yes.
right now, bad idea.
No? Why?
Can I cast Major
Hornets.
Armor on myself?
In the trees by the river?
Yes. Yeah, you'll have to go through them, so you basically have to now go 50 yards down and then go to the river. Otherwise, it's not gonna be good.
We should splint Keth's leg first so he can
Uh,
actually like.
Do it. Let's do it.
Time's already on that. I rolled a
Okay.
medicine earlier, but I can do it again if
Well,
like
what
if
would
she's
you get?
assisting me. I rolled a natural 20 when we did the
Cool.
medicine earlier,
Splinted and wrapped well.
and another like layer of.
I'm leaning on my own quarterstaff, I'm gonna say, because I feel like I'm too tall for
Yeah.
most of the people.
I can
For-
help you, Kat.
No, Ferg is leaning on you and
Okay.
the red pencil, like,
Okay.
We're tall homies.
and Ferg's real wobbly and
Oh, yeah,
like
pretty far.
high as fuck still, and not sorry.
I have a question. Can I cast like it just feeling like scared and defensive? Can I accidentally cast Major Armor on myself, or do I need to wait till?
You can do it right
We're
now.
in
It
the-
lasts for 8 hours.
So if that's how you want to describe casting major armor on yourself, absolutely.
I'm just
I-
feeling very scared. I hear dogs. I hear like we're freaked. I'm freaked out, and yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you cast major
Also,
armor.
Very
two
much.
of
Yeah.
your big burly
Cool.
protectors just got fucked up.
Yeah, and that's very
Yeah.
much in character for you. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait, where did this thing come from?
Yeah. I don't actually know what it looks like. Can I see
Man,
it?
I was gonna
There's
say
no-
we should
Yeah,
put
it's
the ground in
it
front of us
doesn't
for
really
traps while we
look
go
like
for it.
anything. It's
Anything?
invisible,
It's just
right?
invisible.
It's however you want to describe it.
Mm.
Right.
That level does not bother me at
I feel a
all.
little fortified, and I feel a little stronger for some reason. I don't know why.
Cool.
So before we move on, I kind of like look at June, and like what they don't hear is like I asked June to like smell the trap and kind of like go range out ahead of us like 30 feet or so, and kind of like see if they can like suss out any more traps that we might be wandering towards.
Okay. Got it.
Cats are good at smell.
In the meantime,
Like blood.
oh, and your movement is 10 feet less as well.
Okay.
So in the meantime, you all
Do you want drugs too?
continue
No.
Okay.
with your traveling, and
Just offering them. drugs.
and for about the next hour, it's well, you said
Are
you
we
were going
not
down.
going into the river?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna go down the river. So how is that?
Are you guys? Do you guys want to follow me? You hear dogs in the distance.
Oh yeah, no.
We gotta go like shack up somewhere
Ferg's
safe
in
for
no
a
shape
second.
to do anything except follow Ren.
Okay.
They sound very distant. Just to be perfectly frank about the dogs, they sound very distant, but they're now closer to the degree where you can now identify them as dog barks,
kind
where
of-
before you could not.
What kind of a river is this though? Is this something we can cross? Because if it's crossable,
You will
I'm
soak
gonna
yourself,
yeah.
but yes, easily you can cross this
That's
level.
my suggestion. Is
yeah.
that we cross the river.
How far? What is the diameter of this river?
What is the diameter of this river?
Width?
With
I'm just saying that's the way she puts
Oh.
it. That's the way
Oh.
she puts it.
I mean, my
Circular river.
suggestion is that we go to the river, we walk a length up the river that everybody can handle and exit the river on the other side and continue to follow the river.
Right. So to answer your question, between 20 to 50 feet, and it's generally speaking very rocky and shallow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Like it's actually very easy to cross. There are some manageable places where you won't get soaked that you have to kind of like suss out as you're going along the river. But ultimately, even if you didn't take that route, you could just soak yourself but still cross easily.
I think Shanna's
what time of
specifically
year is
saying
this
that we
again?
get into the river and then go up the river ways to throw off our scent and then get out of the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, wash our wounds, reassess the situation
It's
on the other end.
This occurs to you as very, very clean water, pristine.
That's
Great.
good. What
So
time
much
of year?
better.
Season, not time of year. That's terrible terminology
We
for giants.
said that it was basically springtime, I think that we decided.
Okay, so the temperature is reasonable.
Yeah.
This feels fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
The water
Times I can
is
mess with it then.
crazy cold, however.
Prozacs.
Like crazy cold. Very, very
Oh,
cold.
that probably feels good on the ouch.
Ferg can't feel the cold because Ferg is too high.
For the
but it's
ouch.
like,
I feel
oh,
like that's something
the
Kat would
ouch
say.
is,
Let's do
the
it on
ouch
the
is only
ouch.
Yeah.
achy.
My ouches feel better.
Yeah.
So, as like time kind of like watches like the first few of you walk into there, and Bill, feel free to correct me if I can't do this, but since you said it's kind of like lowish water, right? It would kind of like soak us up a little ways, like a foot or so, something like that. As time starts walking across, she kind of like moves her hand a little bit, and she's constantly focusing upstream slightly, and the water is just like parting around her a little bit, like just that small little pocket.
Yeah.
And so like not much, like she really can only really affect herself, but she's kind of just like getting her shoes a little wet, but
Right.
it's just kind of like but it allows her to like
Slightly.
focus on the rocks and kind of move a little bit.
Red
Right.
rolls his eyes real hard.
I could probably show you this trick if you wanted to spend some time concentrating on it.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ferg wants to lie down and have a drink if we could.
I really like the image of like walking up like a dry stream bed with water rushing around. It was good.
So
Can we please have like, is June walking behind you, like
In
not
the
wet
dry
at all in the dry spell? Because
No.
Cat.
good.
Well, occasionally she's like, there's like a flopping fish that kind of moves around and kind of
Well,
pops
I
out.
love
here,
that.
actually, I'm gonna belay that. June is nowhere to be found because she's scouting for traps.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're getting into the water, then she's gonna like come up with us though at that point until we get out of the water again.
Yeah, but I mean, like she's
freaked out
super
by the dogs,
focused
too.
on that, and to your benefit, because
Trapped
as
in the
you
water?
cross the river and try to kind of like mask your scent a little bit, which by the way, great idea, Shanna. Go ahead and take an inspiration point for that one.
Hell yeah.
Ranger inspiration.
You
No pencils. Ah!
oh, that doesn't.
That was awesome.
That concept does not exist down here. No pencils.
I think there's 4 right here.
There's like literally one on this side of the table.
I have 3. Wait, can we give our inspiration points to people?
No.
Oh,
3
damn.
is your max.
Okay.
There are times where maybe you could make an argument for, and tell me if we're changing something differently, like potentially like lending it, but you have to make a really good argument why your character could do that.
Okay.
Because I
I thought
feel
we were
like there
just
was.
doing that at the end of our Rise of the Rune Lords because we all had inspiration points.
I'm just saying, sometimes I forget I have these
But
things,
not
so
just
if anyone
freely give,
knows,
right? You have to,
if
like,
anybody's like,
argue
oh, there's
for
a way
it.
that
Yeah.
Farron
Just
could
use
help
that
me
part to get
out with
inspiration.
something, and
Yeah.
also Farron,
To be clear,
Shanna
you can't
has an
give
inspiration.
an inspiration point to
I
somebody.
can help someone.
Yeah,
with
you
my
can help.
inspiration.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I remember you letting me use my inspiration to help somebody.
You cross the. So remember, you've crossed the Grundle River once, as per Hoffer's suggestion, and then you hit the last trap, and then you were like, "No, we're crossing back." Right. So you've crossed back to your original side. So 2 things. One thing is that you both recognize kind of simultaneously, and you start to kind of like voice this out loud and create a dialogue, that in order to get to the waterfall, indeed you have to be on the other side of the river. That's one. The second thing is, and let me just roll randomly for this because I don't really know who.
Fuck y'all.
Sparky. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. However, you're going to roll at advantage because time pipes up right at the last minute and says, no, don't go that way. Because you got word from, what's your cat's name?
June.
June, thank you. So roll at advantage.
13 minus 1.
So that's 14. Yeah.
14
We're
it
taking-
is.
That's good. That's good.
So
Better than average.
a bear
By
trap
lots of
does get
points.
sprung, and you take 3 points of damage. But you basically lifted your leg, and it basically clipped part of your calf, but it does not trap your leg, and you only take 3 points of damage.
Okay, and I have. Glad I have.
We
cast
took
my
a long
mage
rest, so
armor.
I should get 12.
Yeah, you're
That would be like half my hit points otherwise.
Well, mage armor doesn't affect hit points. Ever.
It doesn't?
No, it just raises your armor class.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell?
You
Should
might-
I have art like? What,
No,
so
it's
what
rolling
is-
into something that's gonna try and hit you later.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, just
Okay.
It also lasts for like a
This
long
is just
time.
one of those things, like when you take damage with something that requires a reflex save, it's more like, oh, the damage is inevitable. It's not like a solid trap of like steel jaws. It's not, oh, it's gonna hit you. It's a matter of like how bad it's gonna hit you and if you manage to dodge out of the way mostly.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're not trapped in the bear trap, yay. And then right after that, June, you can just feel June kind of like do that sort of like cat twirling around your leg, like I got your back.
So soothing.
It's a service animal.
And but
I'm
it
here for
does.
you.
I mean, 3 points of damage,
you're
like
tiny to me.
it's
We should
it's a
bandage
big chunk out of your calf, and it hurts.
It's salve.
Drugs?
Here, kid.
If you want.
also
I mean, it's not. I don't
I'm
think I would ask
assuming-
for that.
I'm just here for you. So if you feel
That
like
would-
that's something you want.
I'm
I
your
have some
guy.
of those things you took.
I mean,
It's
you're
not-
kind of
your-
young.
your
But
brain
also,
isn't-
like,
I'm
if
also
you tripped, I would have
assisting you.
tripped.
Time
like,
starts talking about it, and she's like,
That's
"Your
true.
brain isn't ready for
Pick
it." yet."
odds or evens.
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 Yeah, we can't give kids drugs on our show.
Keth.
What? Damn it! I have 1 hit point, guys. Why'd you pick me?
I
I'm
didn't
just
pick
kidding.
Evens.
What's up?
I didn't pick you, but when I asked you to roll all those d6s,
I did really bad.
A lot of you rolled ones, and that's what I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
So
Not me,
I need
suck
you to
it.
roll a reflex save. However, June has your back and has been scouting, and you get an advantage on said reflex save.
Damn right, kitty.
You got good reflexes, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm a
My
monk,
snacks.
theoretically.
You know the snacks. I also have hummus and carrots,
17 plus
which
20.
I'm gonna eat.
This is still gonna drop
Yeah.
you 0 at 1 hit point though.
Yeah.
Oh,
It.
this
So.
for me.
Is there a way we can look for these fucking things before we hit them? I feel like bear traps now that we know they're
Well,
there.
no one's
Is there a
actually
thing-
said to me, "I'm looking for them."
I mean, the cat.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
we all look for
You're
bear
right.
traps at this junction.
Wow. Okay. Starting to get smart here.
Stupid.
So.
Everybody
Ferg's
just
high. Ferg isn't paying attention.
Oh, I don't expect you to be
at
looking
this
And
for
point.
Sparky's dumb, and Hoffer said they shouldn't be there, so we're
So I will say, how do I describe this? So something happens
killed that guy.
where you basically you're stepping with your staff at the exact same time that you're stepping with your wounded leg, and then the bear trap goes off, and the trap actually digs into your leg, but because your staff was right next to it, it blocked the other side of the trap. And so it was very easy for you to pull off. The bad news is that you're at 0 hit points, but the good news is that your leg is not trapped. Any one of you could have easily pulled it out because of the staff right next to your leg.
Pencil.
And
Put
Yeah.
this in a communal pot. Pencil pot.
so the question is, Keth passes out and is losing a lot of blood. What do you all do?
I would like to stabilize with Sparky. Sparky's assistant's like sort of holding and like trying to work the wound.
Ren goes and Ren essentially like grabs a bunch of water from the river and splashes it on Keth.
That's
Doesn't-
not help.
that doesn't really do much.
Okay.
Help.
Even though Ferg is kind of high, Ferg takes off a bandana and like starts tying off the gusher.
So I believe since you are poisoned, you will be rolling this at a disadvantage. But let me just double check. to
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
an ability check, ability attacks.
Yeah.
It's ability checks and yeah.
I'm also high as a kite.
No,
So
that's why.
I'm trying.
Can I help?
you can help in the sense that you can make Ferg's roll just a regular roll.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Should have 18
bounced.
The 18 rolled over there was nice. Yeah, bounce is fine.
It bounced.
Make
It
a death
bounced.
save.
Okay.
That didn't happen. There's not carrots.
So this death save would have been before his roll.
What can I do with my inspiration?
That's one fail, and then you make
You can
you try to stabilize the wound.
Then
Roll another death save.
Can I
Do that.
cauterize the wound?
You're losing your companion.
Do it and just with an inspiration point.
Can I cauterize the wound? Can I cauterize the wound and use an inspiration point?
That's alright.
So you're using an inspiration point. You're cauterizing it via like your
Fireball?
Yeah.
Or
like your
Like-
firebolt.
like I'm learning. Like I'm so stressed, but I'm, like Kath is like probably the closest person to me, so I'm like really trying to focus.
And
I
you've
know
had-
I have this fireball thing, so I'm
you've
really
had-
trying to focus
Yeah.
and use it intentionally.
Okay. Burn that inspiration point,
Okay.
and all of a sudden you sort of jump towards Keth. You know, don't die, and like just sear, like put your hand on the wound to try to stop it, but all of a sudden you find your hand just searing it like it was a white hot like brand or poker or something like that. And immediately you wake up and you're like, ah! And then pass out once again, but the bleeding immediately stops and it seems to be okay.
I really
Good
would
job,
love for
Frank.
you to have a permanent teenager-sized halfling hand mark
Yes.
scar
Yeah.
on you now that glows a little red.
On my ankle, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I
A total
I hug the nearest
Mordecai.
person to me, whether it makes me
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh, like that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I am
and-
looking for bear traps as we are moving along, as is my animal.
Me too.
Now I'm
All
also
of
gonna go
us
pee.
are.
Also me.
I'm looking
Everybody's looking for bear traps.
Perfect.
for example.
Also, hornet's nests.
You get one or the other.
Both.
This I can use as an inspiration point as well, right?
No, you can
No?
use that to roll at advantage
Oh,
with
roll at
attack
advantage, okay.
rolls, ability
Alright,
checks, and saving
Cool,
throws.
cool, cool. Okay.
The big three, as I call them.
Okay.
So, okay. So now the question is you have a, what's the height? What's Keth's height?
I'm like almost 8 feet tall.
Okay,
But
so
I'm like 8 feet with my mohawk, but my mohawk's
Probably
Yeah.
wet.
so you have,
How's your chest, bro?
Fisher, do you want to show the viewers
This
your
is-
tattoo?
This is well.
You don't have
Do
to.
Oh
it.
boy.
I haven't
I'm
seen
just-
it.
Oh man, you guys in for a trip?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I mean,
it's lovely right now.
We need some like
Also,
real
cover it up.
wounds
He's not a minor,
in
it's
order
okay.
to bring us to where we're at.
Like you're
I
like.
don't think you
He's
you
not a
need
what?
to,
Awesome.
but-
What did you say? He's not
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh, he's not a minor.
The
Sorry.
pictures look
Yeah,
much
he's
better.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
Sound
for
minor.
for those of you who don't know Fisher,
Barely 18.
viewers,
Fine.
Fisher viewers, Fisher is our engineer.
pretending to be well with his fake beard.
He's
Oh, yeah.
pretending to be Will with his fake beard. It's just.
You didn't even know until I.
I know. Oh my god! I just thought you peed really quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He does pee really quickly.
And
Yes, I am.
Not you. This guy.
How dare you, time?
oh my god, there's two Wills.
I'm so confused. Which one am I?
We miss you. Hope life isn't so boring out there.
He's like,
That was a
it
desperation
really is,
laughter.
Okay.
No, I feel like that was a. No, it's not boring because you guys don't know what I'm doing over here.
That's true.
It's like eye hole.
Okay. So, Keth is down. How are you going to haul your 7.5 foot tall companion around these parts, these woods?
Fix the really strong one who's really high.
Camp out until he's healed.
Yeah, is there a location that we can hold up that you could find
Sure.
us?
We're close
Behind
to
the
the river.
waterfall.
How far away is that, though?
How far away is the waterfall?
You got a ways, and
Okay.
that's the problem right now. Is like Keth is massive.
How far away is the sawmill?
Is the what?
Is the sawmill?
Gesundheit.
Because it can't be that. The river's gonna be too fast at the falls for the sawmill.
Good question. It's near the falls, but it's not necessarily that far. It's honestly, you think it's with your leg and like everyone else being as strong or lack thereof as they are. This is gonna be a rough haul.
So,
Can you guys make like a thing with our staffs and some?
Well, I was gonna say, could we
Yeah.
get some?
I don't speak to unconscious people.
Well, it is. So first off, is the river flowing the direction that we need to go, or are we going
No.
upstream? So we're like below the falls, not above the falls.
Yeah.
That should still be fine. Time goes well. If we increase their buoyancy, we could potentially float them up the river.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we could use wood. We could make a raft that the rest of us could tow up the river. It's very shallow.
Against the.
Yeah, you'd be towing it against the current.
Yeah. Doesn't it make more sense to
It's
get
not
out
a
of the
very. It's not a very.
river?
Well, if
The
we want to get them away from the
you
traps potentially.
could probably tow somebody upriver if they're floating.
Yeah, it's not a very like if it was a deeper river that would be problematic. But since
But
it's
if you
kind of
drop me, we're
since it's kind of low, it's enough that they could float a little bit.
Yeah.
But that we could kind of still kind of like it'd be slow going potentially, but it'd be better than trap palooza that's on the sides over here.
Okay.
And then it's still like kind of creating like a carrier for them so they can lay out.
It does seem like the river was the way to travel if we want to keep all of our limbs also.
I have mage hand. We're gonna do mage
You
hand.
still hear dogs barking in the distance.
Uh-huh.
They don't seem that much closer,
Yeah.
but you just that is ever present in your mind in the distance.
So is there wood that we can make a raft out of?
Yeah.
Completely.
Let's
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
If you go in the forest, you can find some sort of
Farron
you know,
contribute.
While looking for traps.
yeah, while looking for traps. Yep.
Painstakingly inch.
And
No. Trap. No. Trap. Yes, trap.
and with that,
Bring it in.
why don't you?
Oh.
Let's see. Who has the best investigation of the group? Go ahead and roll that.
I'm not even gonna ask you guys what you have.
Go ahead and roll that at advantage.
Oh yeah, girl.
Because you guys are all looking for traps, and so this is basically what this roll.
Ooh, fuck.
11. Got a 6. Hold on. I feel very inspired. At this point, I know we've got so many
I
people
like the
down.
falsetto that happened.
I am feeling. I'm saying there's any. Yeah. I'm feeling a little connected to the future at the moment. Like I'm kind of seeing some scenarios.
Oh, I'm
where,
gonna
like,
see. I'm gonna give you one specific scenario that you see.
Yeah.
You
Hook me
see a bear trap hit Ferg again, and hit him in the same spot that he was in before, and it actually takes his leg off.
Oh, that's not good. So yeah, I get an 18, and I go Ferg. So I literally, I just like actually very very calm. Like you're about to step, and kind of just time moves up and just like moves you like a foot to the right, and kind of like and she like stops. She takes her staff and kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually breaks your staff.
Just like the tip.
No, like that much of it just takes it off. It's about like now 4 feet rather than 6 feet,
Oh, sorry.
which tells you what it would have done to your leg.
We can get you a new staff.
That's fine. The top piece comes off, and I can reattach it. This is not the first time I've broken a
You're
stick,
doing such a great
Or
job being
the-
high. Please take an inspiration.
or the last time I will break a stick.
I'm actually not that out of it when I'm high.
and I would say that from
That's
there,
what they all say.
because
I'm fine.
because you have Faerun
So high right
like guiding the way, you make a really awesome buoyant raft that you can haul Keth upriver. It's really slow going, I'll be honest, but at the same time,
Safe going.
it's safe going, and you even think to like create sort of straps to like hold Keth down just so that you wouldn't accidentally fall into the water. So yeah, long story short is that you're now like hauling Keth's unconscious body up the river, and about 2 hours ahead, y'all realize that you are exhausted, that you've been traveling all day, and maybe you haven't gotten as far as you wished that you could have, but like all of the travel has been really exhausting considering like helping Ferg along the way, then helping Keth along the way, then Keth went down, and then you have to gather wood and all this stuff.
Can we take like a short rest?
First unconscious, by the way. Kudos for breaking
Yeah.
the seal.
Yeah.
Maybe we should turn
I
back.
got 2 fails.
Really glad you didn't
You have
die.
christened the
There's
game,
more
so to
traps that
speak.
way. We're already in it at this point.
Yeah.
We might as well rest.
Farron,
Back is forward.
distantly,
Yeah.
you're tired. You're kind of gathering your wits, and distantly you see someone through the trees. And the moment you kind of like look over there, and you kind of hang on that point for just for maybe like 3 or 4 seconds, they bolt in the opposite direction.
They're on the what side of the bank?
Your side.
The bear trap side or no?
It's all bear traps.
It's all bear trap side. You've encountered bear traps on both sides.
Okay.
Bear traps all the way down, mate.
What's that?
Like turtles all the way down. Around the Terry Pratchett's row. Anyway. Bear traps all the way down.
So, long story short is that like this person headed deeper into the wood.
Okay.
It's all
And,
deeper into the woods.
and if you-
Direction is deeper.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just saying.
Do I, at this
Deeper in the
point,
direction we're
feel
going.
we are being followed?
Are we following them? I can't tell sometimes.
I feel like we're missing something.
Damn it.
Here's the thing.
Fergus is like starting to
So
come down
I use passive perception in this game as an actual thing. Like it's kind of like your baseline. Go ahead and roll a perception check. If you get any higher than your perception, then I'm gonna alter this description a little bit. But otherwise, if you get lower than 15, because your passive perception is 15, which is pretty fucking baller for first level.
I missed my passive perception of 26.
I'm at 14.
Okay, so here's what I'll say is that you see this, that you see a person, and then they just bolt the opposite direction. They've got quite a head start on you, and like it kind of in the blink of an eye, like they're gone.
Okay.
Do we hear any bear traps?
No.
Did they roll d6?
No, wait. No.
You hear a loon
No, baby.
You gotta place the
in the
bear
dark
trap.
distance.
So yeah. Yeah. I mean, somewhat. This is you're kind of being led into kind of a veritable landmine field.
Bearable. It is
A veritable landmine. That was nice. I like that.
Another inspiration point.
So, you are all resting, short resting, long resting, and
Are we at the waterfall at this point?
no.
We've just pulled off to the side.
You've pulled off to the side, realizing that exhaustion has kind of overtook a great number of
Is
you.
it at least sunny out? Are we warming ourselves on the bank?
Through the trees, yes. Through the
Okay.
trees, and of course, it's nowhere near sundown because of the length of the days. But
We should take a short rest. I mean, I'm
At
unconscious,
least.
but
Yeah.
well, the
Yeah.
problem is with short rest is short rest will not.
I don't get to roll a D8.
No, you do not get
Oh,
to roll that.
sucks.
While you're unconscious, yeah.
Yeah, while you're unconscious.
Never mind, guys.
Can I set up a
Still
blind
drag me.
on the side of the bank? Like in a strategic point in the bank, can I set up a blind and let everybody have a long rest and guard the shit out of everybody having a long rest?
I would help with
What
that.
is a blind? What do you mean by that?
Like you set up sort of like a camouflage space.
Yeah, okay.
And it's pretty rudimentary, but like you take some brush, you make it so that if somebody peered over the bluff of the bank, they would just see brush. They wouldn't see.
Because you've been so gung ho predator since like moment one, I'm just gonna say that happens.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you were like,
This is what I do.
I think the end of last session you were like, you're the ranger or something. Like, so you said something about me like keeping a watch out,
Sure.
and I was like, oh fuck, I'm the ranger.
Yeah, but
That's
I didn't.
my fuking job.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize
I'm
that it would
supposed to
escalate. I didn't
That's my
realize it would
shit.
escalate to like, oh, I'm gonna track something to, gung 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 gung.
Isn't that what
Well,
they do every time
here's
they
the
go to the
deal.
wilderness?
Here's the deal. Real talk
You
though.
just conflated
Farron
two
isn't
movies.
used to
Terminator.
traveling.
Super
I started
awesome.
doing it. It's my fault.
Traveling with anyone.
Yeah.
So this is the first time Farron's traveled with a group of people. So it's probably the first time that Farron has like slept out around a campfire with people and wasn't vigilant because has never had to be because usually just like plops down in some root somewhere.
Yeah.
So once that happened and we got the micro poisoning people all over our business, I think that like snapped Farron into shit. I would have never ever signed up for this, but now that we're in it.
Keep these people alive.
Although, interestingly enough, what is your wisdom?
Good.
80,000.
It's good.
Bazillion.
I mean, it's a 16 with a.
No,
plus
I just
3
need to know
mod.
the wisdom. 16.
Yeah.
Right. So there's something that tells you that like even though like you're feeling like oh my god this is not working out and you feel
Like instantly.
you feel very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even though that all of that, you also look around and you get the sense that this could be molded and shaped.
Yeah.
Like
Potential.
like there's some potential here.
Well, this one's
There's-
passed out. That was bleeding terribly. Like leg
There's
up.
there's just absolutely
Zap.
no no room for there's no wiggle room right now in the level of proficiency that exists currently. So you know you're realizing that like kind of simultaneously. It's like oh my god, like you've got to do all the legwork and at the same time this could work in the future.
There's also a part of me at this juncture. Now, those are things I don't need to share.
But why don't you share them anyways as a meta thing so that like we don't all know that you're thinking this, but this is all like really.
The meta thing is I've made these journeys, especially at this juncture, many times, and I know if worse come to like I'm not.
You're not dying.
I'm not dying. Like I'm gonna do my best
to keep them
and
alive.
I'm freaking out and I'm panicking, especially with where Lumi's concerned and where time is concerned, because these are people that I know and I've known for a long time.
You have a rapport with them, yeah.
Mostly towards Lumi, because I'm like, as a kid. Like,
I don't want to
gotta-
kill a kid.
there's gonna
I
be
don't want to kill a
repercussions,
customer.
too.
I don't want to, I don't want anyone to die.
That would be a-
I don't want anyone to die. I'm not going to kill
bad
anyone.
Yelp
Those are the two most important.
I also have like a feeling that like time will be fine because time does shit that like nobody should do ever, and that's part of what fascinates me about her is that she doesn't even live like it's not on the edge. It's like beyond. It's like her own realm, and I don't get it, and it confuses me a lot, and it's really freaky. But like it's like time just does time. Time will be fine. I'm concerned with Lumi, and then I've got these like 2 strangers that are now lying prone that I'm like, this is real unfortunate and I really hate this and it's terrible and I hope nothing bad happens. But anyway, that's my meta.
So, and I want, and I also as your GM, I want to encourage those types of like meta rants. Please do that. Please do that because no one at this table, because no one at this table is ever going to use that information to say, oh, well, I know that as a character. No, you don't. Right?
Time
And-
totally picks up.
Well, like Ferg was like, no, and we'll totally be fine outside because Ferg is used to traveling with caravans of like 150 people and just being muscle.
Also
Like,
on the road.
Yeah.
All right.
The woods.
Also, the irony is that I have the most to learn. Like, I'm mostly invested in what these 2 lying prone giants have, like, can bring me.
I'm not a giant.
Not
like
a giant.
5'3".
Well, you're real tough.
He's
Tough.
a big beefy.
You know.
No, not even beefy, just wired.
But I'm like knowledge and power,
Yeah.
like from 2 very different points of view.
I like that.
Like I'm like, damn it, this is why I agreed to this because these 2 were here.
It's your total party investment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
TPI.
I'm invested in everybody.
KPI, exactly.
But you're not gonna die.
It's like a
For
But I'm
ROI.
not gonna
any of us.
Okay.
Well, I just don't see it happening.
Do we get a long rest?
Nothing personal.
Well, that's a good question. Do you all take a long rest? Was that the
That's
goal?
the intention.
Perfect.